And welcome to a new edition of the Red Mountain Express. I am Blake Westbrook. Joining me as always is Patrick Tucker. We were gone for Father's Day because everybody needs to spend some time with their kids on Father's Day. And speaking of Father's Day, we have a new father that has decided to join us again. He's back. The Jedi has returned. Say hello, Matthew.
Hello, Matthew.
How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm back.
Yeah. Are you back for good now?
No, I think this is temporary. I wanted to be a guest on the show, see how it felt.
You're not a guest.
Listened. I'm going to take another break.
You're still producing the show. You're not really a guest.
Oh, I've not been doing it.
Who's been doing it?
No, Laura's been doing it. She's the producer.
There makes sense of our uptick in listenership, so that's good.
No. Yeah, I'm back. I think 6 weeks away from y'all was long enough. I'm listening to this show.
Damn sure.
And I can't let y'all keep bringing it down like that. I've got to bring class back to the show.
Class back to the show?
Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, it's because we added Patrick. So
sorry.
So, way to go. Well, we're going to do something a little bit different this episode. We're going to kind of flip everything around. We're going to do all of our stories in the very beginning. I think we have about 6 stories to cover, and then we're going to kind of talk at the end about some things that are going around Birmingham that we're interested in. So let's get to it. I know we've kind of beat this like a dead horse, and we talked about it a couple weeks ago, but Amazon has officially announced they will be opening a distribution center in, is it Bessemer? Is that right?
It's Bessemer.
Yeah, I think U.S. Steel is going to sell them the land. It's going to hire around 1,500 people, and I believe they're going to start hiring in like October, right? Did I read that right?
I didn't see the month.
Yeah, I think they said they're going to hire in October, and they're going to open up sometime late in 2019. So that's good for the city of Birmingham. It's good for Bessemer, and we always said we're going to get Amazon. Just didn't know it'd be a distribution center. So
yeah.
So there was some debate on I think one of the Facebook groups, like I Believe in Birmingham or something, on whether or not Amazon ever actually said that this was because of the Bring A to B campaign. I know there was one of the Jefferson County commissioners was quoted in one of the articles as saying that this was due to the Bring A to B campaign, but I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't think they're putting distribution centers just because the city really wants, there to be one there. So,
yeah, I have a hard time imagining that Amazon was looking at this campaign saying, you know what, we're not going to give them our HQ2, but because they want us so bad, we're going to do a distribution center. Like, what about all the other states and cities that wanted this HQ2 so badly and did campaigns? Why would we get the distribution center? I don't think that really lines up.
I thought it had a lot more to do with the fact that we were the largest metro area that didn't have a distribution center.
Yeah, and I need the things that I order same day.
Same day. Can we do the drone service yet? Is that?
I haven't followed up on that in a while. I don't know if that's.
They're unlocking people's cars.
Yeah, they are doing that.
That's a little bit too far for me. I mean, just leave it on the front door. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the follow-up question then. Okay, are we going to start getting actual 2-day deliveries now? Or one-day deliveries?
I think so, yeah.
I hope so.
That would be excellent.
For a lot of, I'm sure for all the Amazon Basics and a lot of this just main top sellers, I think you would be getting it probably in a day.
It's been, I don't know about y'all, but it's been a while since I've actually gotten a 2-day delivery. Like, it's usually 2 days from the time it's shipped now instead of just 2 days from the time I ordered it. Yeah.
My question is where's the nearest distribution center right now?
I think there's one in Mobile.
There's probably one in Atlanta.
There is one in Atlanta. I think there's one in Mobile, which would be closer. Yeah, you're right.
But 1,500 employees?
1,500, then they say it can go up to 3,000.
But I mean, are the ones in Mobile and Atlanta as big as this one, or is this?
I don't know that.
Because it seems like it's going to, 3,000 jobs. That's all, if they go to 3,000.
That's a big employer.
That's a big
employer. It's a huge employer, and I do know that they're touting this as a advanced robotic facility, so it's 1,500 people alongside the robotic facility that they already are using, as their standard, I guess.
Sounds like Terminator to me, man.
Skynet's coming. No, so I did a little bit more looking at this AL.com article. As this has become more official, they're saying $14.65 as an average hourly wage.
Wow, that's great.
That's well above the Alabama median right now. The Alabama median Jefferson County is $26,529, I think, as of census last time it was taken, per capita. And then this would average out to about $30,000 on an average. So that's pretty cool. They're also offering benefits from day one. So really? That's pretty cool. You're not having to get a year of tenure or 6 months of tenure before you get benefits.
And will I get the Washington Post here in Birmingham now? Delivered to my front door.
You'll have to ask Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Email Jeff.
Jeff, if you're listening, talk to your buddy Tim. he'll tell you how great this show is. Come on, tell us about the new distribution center in Bessemer.
So another number that I hadn't seen yet was that according to the Alabama Department of Commerce, this is going to, over the next 20 years, have a total new payroll of $1.25 billion, and that's including construction and full-time employees, a new total state revenue of $136 million, and a total return on investment to the state of 216%.
Do you know exactly where the land is? I've tried to look this up, and I could not find it. But
yes, I'm looking at the article from AL.com right now, and it says it's 133 acres off of Powder Plant Road there in Bessemer.
I know exactly where that is now. Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah, I really do.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, okay. So, and U.S. Steel probably sold it to them at a pretty good deal because they own a ton of land over there. I know that. What is the name of that big?
Because they've closed everything.
They closed everything down there,
yeah.
But they own a ton of land, not in just in Birmingham, but all throughout Alabama. And now
U.S. Steel.
They've been selling it off to neighborhoods. Or a good example in the Baldwin County area, there's a place called Stillwood that's a big resort, and it's called Stillwood because it was owned by U.S. Steel.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Stillwood.
Or maybe Bethlehem Steel. But anyway.
So the property's been cleared for construction. U.S. Steel has sold it to Bessemer Industrial Development Board. That has not been sold to Amazon yet, but it will happen very soon.
That's a big get for Birmingham.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, I know we've updated everybody on the story 2 or 3 times, and we'll make a promise that if anything else happens with it, we will come back with another update. So it's a good thing. Something that's not going to happen in Birmingham for the next story is Birmingham has opted not to bid on the 2020 DNC. Thank you.
Thank you, Woodfin.
Was it the mayor's decision? Because
Yeah, it
so,
was
high
the-
five.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm all about some conventions. I've been to both the Democratic National Convention and Republican National Convention. They're big business. They're huge. They're great for a city. We just can't handle it.
Not yet.
It would have been financially irresponsible for us to try and get
we have no chance of getting it.
No.
I mean, that's the thing, right?
I think that's a lot of the conversation I saw too about that was just I think like you mentioned on the show when we first talked about this is there's really no political relevance
For
to
either
Birmingham-
party
for Birmingham to be the.
We're not Ohio.
It's not that it's not only that we don't have the hotel rooms or don't have the metro or don't have whatever capacity that we need. It's just that. The relevance isn't there either. So, I mean, there's a lot of reasons for not doing this. I think this is a good decision. I think we were asked to bid.
We were.
Yeah.
But I think choosing not to saves us some money. Somebody actually asked how many potholes that would fill. And it was something in the like 5,000, according to somebody's estimate.
What's the bid? The bid amount is like $275,000.
I think we spent
$275,000 of the bid of, I think, in 2016.
Yeah. And that's not a ton of money for things like this, but that is a considerable amount of money that we can do other stuff.
Especially when you're throwing it away. I mean, we're not going to get it.
Exactly.
And I appreciate, going above and beyond, but this is one of those things we will not get. We're not either a big metro area like a New York or Los Angeles where they've had it before, or Chicago, or we're not a swing state like North Carolina or Ohio or Pennsylvania. So, good call by Mayor Woodfin.
So do we have a better shot of getting the Amazon to headquarters?
I would say we'd had a better shot at getting the DNC than we would have Amazon too.
Fair enough. Well, okay, so let's look 16 years in the future. Should we actually bid for DNC then, you think? Do you think things will advance enough that we could...
We won't be relevant. I mean, we'll still be a red state. I mean, unless there's some
Blue wave
shift.
is coming, Blake.
Yeah, okay, but not in Alabama. Unless there's like a seismic shift in politics, we're not going to be a purple state anytime soon. And so that's what it takes. You have to be on that map or you have to be a large metro area to where it makes sense, like a Chicago or Atlanta or I mean, I think we have a better shot of getting an MLS team than we do of getting a big convention like that because World Cup viewership, we were number 4 in the whole country.
That's pretty crazy.
So, but we do have
and I wasn't one of them. So
no, I wasn't either.
I didn't watch it.
Sadly,
yeah.
I love soccer. I love watching the World
Do
Cup.
you really?
I haven't been able to do it just because I think just the U.S. not being in it has kept me out of it for some reason. Then I've been busy.
For our fantasy football draft this year, we're doing a World Cup type thing where you're tied to a World Cup team, and if your team does well, then it advances where you are in the draft for fantasy football.
Was yours USA?
Season. I'm Colombia.
Oh, well, you're doing good, yeah.
No, I'm terrible.
Colombia
got beat by Japan.
Hey, look, man, I don't know. Central America.
Showing his knowledge.
It's the first time an Asian team has beaten a South American team, I think, in so many years.
Ever.
Ever. But that being said,
True. Japan was in the quarterfinals back in 2006.
I'm just telling you what I read. I'm invested in this, and I still can't get myself to watch a soccer game.
Now, if the U.S. was playing in it, would you be watching it?
only because everybody else was. I don't care enough about soccer to make myself watch it.
Okay.
Birmingham has a huge soccer.
It really does.
Yeah.
Go to
following,
good people on a big game.
Yeah.
Like, it's packed.
So I mean, I think the soccer culture here is big, and with the Legion, I think it's just going to get bigger and bigger.
I agree.
I think we'll end up with an MLS team.
That would be great.
If we can keep things
That'd be
going the
great.
way that they are, I think that we'll end up with one in
And this is side
6,
note.
8 years.
We don't have this is one of our like official stories that we've talked about already, but I think Birmingham Legion has their official headquarters on First Avenue South now.
Yep,
That is
They
correct.
got
I
it
think
all
they
set
were
up.
having an open house or had an open house.
I think so. Yeah, I saw the building with the logo on it. It looked pretty cool.
You need to get a shirt. I need a Legion shirt.
I need to get one
Absolutely.
too. Even though I don't care about soccer, it's
You're like, I
Birmingham.
care
Like,
nothing about soccer,
But you know, here's the thing.
but I want a
If-
Legion
if-
shirt.
The Legion
Well,
shirt
you'll
looks
go to
cool.
those games, right? I mean,
I
I'm
will
sure
go to
you
some
will.
of those
Yeah.
games to support Birmingham.
Yeah, I mean, you went to a UAB football game.
Well, I
And
like
it-
UAB.
but I mean,
football.
no, but I mean,
Football's
like,
a lot different.
no,
Like,
but I'm saying, like, you didn't go to UAB. You have no.
no, yeah, I want to support things that are happening in the city.
Yeah, so
like,
I'm
more
saying you'll
than-
go to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
just throwing it out there. Well, let's shift gears. We were talking about sports, and bowling's kind of a sport.
It's on ESPN.
The dude bowls. There is a new. Is it a bowling alley? Boutique bowling alley? Is that what we're calling it?
I would call it maybe a bowling alley, but
Yeah.
there are other games as well. So
Okay.
it's basically a bar.
So it's called
with some stuff to do at it.
the Woolworth Recreation, and this is supposed to open up later this summer. And it's like a bowling alley, plus they have a bar. It's going to be in 5 Points South. You guys know more about this than I do. So
this is
fill in the blanks for me.
the old Bailey Brothers location, which also used to be the 5 Points Music
Right.
Hall
And
before
I
that,
love
and
Bailey
many
Brothers.
other things
Bought my
before
first
that.
guitar.
but-
Bailey Brothers.
1006 20th Street South.
Yeah, so this is right in the heart of 5 Points. It's not full on bowling though, right? What do they call it?
They call it duckpin bowling.
Duckpin bowling.
Yeah.
So-
Smaller balls, smaller pins, smaller lanes.
Oh,
And I don't know how the rules change. I just know that everything's
How long are the
shorter.
lanes? I'm gonna have to Google this now. Let's see how long
They're
these lanes are.
shorter. Somebody called it, the article I think called it the Top Golf of bowling, which I don't really know how that translates.
piggybacking
Are there
off that
other
success.
like fun games you can play, like
I think maybe the
so
idea
you
is,
can pick up a split,
is
or
you're bringing a team with you, like a big group of people. You can sit there and drink and have fun, which is a bowling alley. Like, I'm not really
Right.
sure.
what's the difference?
Is it Top Golf?
I think Top Golf is the bowling of golf.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. So the renderings, like I'm looking at the AL.com website article on this, and the renderings of the Woolworth look really cool. They have a rooftop bar that looks really cool. I think they're advertising over 24 taps. So that
Sounds
nice.
like a good number.
Yeah.
I'm a fan already.
I'm a fan of taps.
I'm looking up duckpin bowling right now. So you're right. So the balls used in duckpin bowling are 4 3/4 inches to 5 inches in diameter. So they're really small. They weigh 3.5 pounds, somewhere around there. And they don't have finger holes, so you just kind of grab it and throw it, kind of like a shot put.
I was about to say it's shot put.
Yeah, like a shot put.
Yeah, that's weird.
Which is what I see people end up doing anyway.
Yeah.
Especially after a few drinks.
Get the
like,
5-pound
yeah.
ball.
Man,
Just
but you know what? I never used the finger holes in regular bowling.
Really?
I'd palm it and make it
Yeah.
give it
What
spin.
size ball do you use?
Huh?
Like not testing your manliness here, but like, are you using a 10-pound ball or a 12-pound ball?
yeah,
And you're palming it?
Yeah.
That's all right. That's
I'm
impressive.
more cradling. I'm not like Michael Jordan this thing. It's more it's so I can put more spin on it, so it'll spin and roll. And I got pretty good at it.
I'm not a good bowler, but I do try and use the finger holes and like bowl like I have been taught.
Were you like in a bowling league growing up?
We had bowling in school, but that's
You had bowling in school?
Well, so okay, I say we had bowling in school. We had bowling taught to us in PE in middle school, and so they basically set us up in the gym and made some masking tape bowling lanes and set up some really old pins at the end of it. So it wasn't.
you have to manually go down there, like who got to be the pin guy.
You had to have so you were set up in groups of 3, and there's one person at the pin as the pin setter. And
It's the person that everybody ate. You go down there and pick up the pins.
Now
This
catch.
Here, learn how to hate bowling.
Right,
at an early age.
Johnny, how did you break your toe? Well, I was the pin setter.
Yeah. So I think the lanes in duckpin bowling are 14 to 16 feet long.
So you're basically just throwing the ball.
Like this is like at a carnival, where you throw the pins at like little milk jugs and knock them
I'm
down.
thinking you could get some really mean spin on a, what do you say, a 3-pound ball, 3.5-pound ball? Like,
Yeah, 4 to 5 pound ball. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
It's a shot put.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it looks cool though. It looks
The place looks
the place
awesome.
looks cool,
the
but
renderings look really
I like
sweet.
the name, the
we're all
Woolworth.
taking a
That's
crap
cool.
off duck pinning bowling, and then we're talking how great the place is.
They said that the 5-10 split is also called the Woolworth because it's the five and dime or whatever.
Ah.
So that was kind of part of the
Clever,
play on
yeah.
the name there.
So other than bowling, they're also going to have ping pong, foosball, bumper pool, darts, and more.
That's awesome. I can get down on some ping pong.
Right.
I suck at foosball.
They're going to have a 50-seat dining room with 2 interior bars and a rooftop bar, and the restaurant will offer Mediterranean-inspired, seasonally driven, southern-rooted cuisine.
I have
That's
no
a
idea what that
mouthful.
means. Yeah.
That's just whatever.
Mediterranean
we want to cook.
grits or something?
To quote the AL.com article, says, going along with the social concept, the eatery will offer shareable small plates.
Oh, God.
Your
Shareable.
favorite.
Blake's favorite.
You
My
hate,
favorite.
You
I
hate
know, but
shareables, too.
But I'm telling I'm reading it, so I have to point
Okay.
you out. Flatbreads, pasta, and a handful of entrees.
Mediterranean Southern food. They're going to have feta grits here, guys.
Feta grits. I'd get on board with feta grits, I think.
I could try it.
We'll see.
I like goat cheese grits.
That's true.
Yeah.
Gouda grits.
Gouda grits.
Gouda grits are good, too. Shareables. I don't share food, man.
I know.
You don't either.
I don't either.
You don't either.
Uh-uh.
Don't act like I'm
Not
the
my
bad guy
thing.
in this
I
one.
share because I want everybody to share with me. Like, I want to taste everything. I want to taste that. I want to taste that.
Which is the smarter way to play the game.
Yeah.
Me and Blake, we're only getting what we ordered. You're getting a little bit of everything.
I didn't want that. That's why I didn't order
See,
it.
the worst thing is, like, my wife and I we'll decide, like, let's go out and get something tonight, and I'll say we'll go to a certain place, and like, do you want fries? And she'll be like, no, I don't want fries. Are you sure you don't want fries? Yes, I'm sure I don't want fries. Now listen, that doesn't mean no, I don't want fries. Can I have some of yours? These are not community fries. These are my fries.
Yeah.
I just don't share. I'm sorry, I don't share food
every time.
every time,
Every time.
every single time.
All right.
It was in our vows.
Was it really?
Yeah.
We'll share a prize.
Share the fries.
She snuck them in there
Yeah.
on me.
So when does this open again? It's pretty.
They're
soon?
expecting to open in August.
Yeah,
Wow.
late summer of this year.
Sounds like a fun thing to do for us in August, guys.
Definitely.
Take the podcast there.
I mean, bowling in the background.
I know I missed this episode. I wasn't here for the talk about this, but I think I'm really interested in throwing axes with y'all across from Trim Tab.
I'm down.
Yeah,
I mean the concept.
So
like,
you can already do it at the Audubon place out in Bessemer.
Oh really?
The electric go-kart place. Have you all been
I've
there?
been there. I didn't.
I
know
haven't
they
been
had-
there.
I think they just started recently.
Actually, when I was in Orlando, we had like a team building. Well, we had like a little fun thing for our employees, and we did kind of like an Audubon thing. I was terrible.
The electronic go-karts are awesome.
Oh, it's fun.
It's fast.
You sliding everywhere. It's
Yeah.
fun. So
It's good.
anyway, to update you on another story that we've talked about ad nauseum is the BJCC. They have taken another step toward getting this stadium started. I think they've actually rolled out the bond issue. Is that right? What they're going to actually invest in is like $300 million expansion, and there's going to be several bonds that are going to float to actually get this thing funded. So hopefully they can have this thing up and done by 2021, and we can get some football rolling up in there.
Right.
So,
And the big story this week from Biz Journals was that they have reached their private sector fundraising goal, which was a goal of $4 million raised per year over 10 years.
that's big.
Yeah, that's really big.
That's quick, too.
Said they achieved it through sweet leases and undisclosed naming rights deals from over 15 businesses.
So what you're telling me is that we bought the naming rights to that stadium,
That's right. You have the Red Mountain Express Stadium.
RME Stadium.
RME.
It just rolls off your tongue, man.
They haven't announced the official name, so we can start rolling that out
Yeah.
ahead of that.
I
Yeah,
started
just
a
like
campaign on Facebook.
People will start referring it to it as the RME Stadium.
I'm like, the what stadium? It's the RME Stadium, you know? So it's good. I mean, they're going to put it over there at Uptown. There's so many things going on up there, but it's just kind of I'm ready for them to start construction on this. We've talked about it for a long, long time.
So was the source of funding, was this just from like suite sales or?
The way the Biz Journal's article read was it was through sweet deals and the naming rights.
As in sweet deals, you mean like skybox suites, not like
Right, like
sweet.
leases
like
on
really,
those.
really sweet
Really
deals.
Sweet
really
deals.
sweet.
People just gave us money. That was a sweet deal. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, no, it really is cool. That's a big step. That's a lot of money to get from private sector funding. So,
And the UAB lease as well. So
right.
awesome.
That's all right. Let's get the shovels out. Let's get this started.
So they're saying that the construction should start fairly soon. There's going to be some overlap between the stadium construction and the arena, or the arena redo,
Right.
refresh, however you want to say that. But they should not start or finish at the same time. There's just going to be a little bit of overlap.
Did you see the new rendering of the stadium? They put a new one out.
You were talking about it before the show.
Well, we'll put this in our show notes, but
Is it actually our stadium?
it
this time?
actually is our stadium, and it looks a lot better than the one because the other one was kind of preliminary. This has more detail in it, and it looks really, really nice.
Does it look better than Colorado Stadium?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember when we saw that, I was like, man,
That looks really good.
looks really good. Look, they got the background, and then they were like, that's Colorado.
That looks like a real college stadium.
Is it Colorado State's or Colorado's?
I think it was Colorado State.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but yeah, I think
It
so.
looked like a nice stadium. I'm sure it is. Next time I'm out there, I'll be sure to visit. So, Matt, you are a listener of NPR and All Things Considered. There's going to be a new host. Is that correct?
Right, yeah. So I'm a big fan of NPR and our local stadium, local station, not stadium, WBHM, and they have hired a new journalist, Janae Pierre. She joined WBHM on June the 18th, and she's going to officially be a local host for All Things Considered, starting soon by the end of this month. And I wanted to bring that up, not because I know not everybody listens to NPR, but for those of you who do, they're going to do a welcome reception for Janae at the Electra Event Room at Vulcan Park on July 19th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. They're going to be serving light hors d'oeuvres and have a cash bar.
Awesome.
She's replacing Esther Chamakili.
I think that's right. I know she left recently, so I can only imagine that they're replacing her.
Right. Right. Well,
So
good.
that's
Well,
cool.
speaking of Vulcan, I know you were talking about this.
Yeah,
Patrick.
so the new lights have gone in. I was up there a couple weekends ago, and got to see them putting in the new lights, and that's going to officially light up immediately following the Thunder on the Mountain fireworks display on July 4th. So
Why are they going to do it following? Why don't they do it like during, like, make it red, white, and blue while they're blowing up?
I mean, I think that'd be cool, but it might take away from both the lights and the fireworks.
Yeah,
doing them both
the
at the
lights
same
may
time.
not look nearly as impressive if you got fireworks going
Going
off.
off.
Because their fireworks show is traditionally really well done.
Yeah,
Really
Yeah, I
big.
think it was last year they kind of messed up with the music and
The timing was
yeah,
off,
it was kind of off. I mean, really, I don't need music. I just need to see things blowing up. That's fine with me. But I enjoy Thunder on the Mountain.
I do too. It's the largest fireworks show in Alabama.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
That's
And
kind of shocking to me.
I mean, where else? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they said that this year you're going to be able to listen to the music, hopefully in sync on like all the iHeart radio stations.
In sync as in in sync.
in
the
sync
band?
to the fireworks.
Right. There's
They
nine.
may actually play some in sync. I don't know, but
There's
I
9
doubt it.
iHeart radio stations, and then 98.3 FM will be broadcasting it as well.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
always picnic in Homewood on the main street and kind of.
like down by Da Vinci's and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a really good time. We did that 2 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, this year we'll probably go. We'll just put like a little earphones on Maggie so she won't be hurt.
I think this year we're going to actually keep the kids up and take them down there.
See, I think
They're
we're going to do
old
the same
enough
thing.
now.
Are you going to bring Ben down for that?
I'm going to assume that we're not.
Yeah, probably not.
He might be too young to appreciate it at this point.
He'll be snoozing by then, probably. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is kind of the stories that we had for this week. Normally, we do we break to our commercial for Beecham Woodworks, but this week we have a special announcement with our Patreon account, and we're going to let Matthew handle that.
Right. So this week's show is going to be brought to you by patreon.com/Red Mountain Express. We've had this Patreon up for a while now. If you don't know what Patreon is, basically it is a how do you want to say this? Like a crowdsourced way to fund shows and entertainment.
Sure. Yeah.
So Patreon.com will allow you to pay money towards a certain tier of membership and get rewards based on what tier you sign up for. Now, we did not get into this to make money. We didn't get into this to become
Because if we did get in this make money, we're terrible at it.
yeah, we missed the mark there.
Or Patrick's embezzling from us.
Right. But there are certain expenses that we incur by hosting this show, by having a website, by buying equipment, and keeping it going. We enjoy doing this show. We'll keep doing it if nobody signs up to Patreon, but it will help us immensely if you listen to this show and you just see fit to give us $1. Like that would be way more than I could ask for you or to do. I mean, so if you go to patreon.com/Red Mountain Express, the first page you see should show you all of the different tiers that we have available, and they each have different types of rewards. Of course, like, for $1, that's just funding our basic, like, drink coffee while we do the show, or beer or whiskey or whatever we have that day. And then as you go up in the tiers, you're getting different rewards. You may have us put your company's name on our website sponsorship page, or you may come on the show. You may give us a topic. You may actually officially sponsor the show and have a commercial in the middle of the show where we typically have Beecham Woodworks sponsorship. So go look there. There are a lot of you that listen to this show, well over what I ever expected. And if each of you only gave $1, that would well and above fund this show for what we're doing currently and encourage us to keep adding to the show and doing more things. So I encourage you to go look at that. let us know what you think on our site, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Of course, we're on all those places. We would love to engage with you there. But go to Patreon and look at what we have there and really consider contributing to the show if it's something you listen to and get entertainment or news out of on a weekly basis.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So now we're going to kind of shift gears, just kind of talk about what we normally do at the top of the show. So what I am dying to know is, Matt, how's it being a dad?
I'm looking pensively at my microphone while trying to think of a way to answer this. This has been a learning experience more than I could have imagined. Even after talking to every parent that I've ever met, having them give unsolicited advice or explanations for why they do what they do, there's nothing to prepare you for what actually having an infant in your house is, or even preparing you for leaving the hospital with an infant.
Or even preparing you for when the nurse leaves for the night. Like, all right, you guys, good night. Like, whoa.
You can't just
You
leave
can't
this
leave
here?
this baby with me. Yeah.
You meant to take him with you, right? Like, what do you? All right. So night number 1 really wasn't too bad. So we have him all swaddled up. She's fed him. We get him laid down, and we sleep for like 7 hours.
That's amazing.
It was awesome. Night number 2, nobody warned us about night number 2. Night number 2 was a nightmare. The kid would not sleep unless you were holding him or unless he was feeding him. And there was no swaddling him and laying him down. Like, it was just a constant barrage of, I am a new baby that doesn't know what's going on and I'm angry, so you can't sleep either.
Was he colicky? Is he colicky?
No. So colicky, like being colicky, doesn't really start for a few months, and that typically has more to do with like gas type.
Hopefully it does not
It
start.
does not.
Hopefully
start,
it does
yeah.
not. We've been really lucky so
The
far.
Dr. Brown bottles, I think those are the best
We
things.
started with
Yeah.
the Dr. Brown bottles. We're giving him a bottle a day now, and I've had great luck with him taking that bottle. For the first few weeks, we didn't sleep. You know, everybody's like, sleep when they sleep. And
That's not possible, yeah.
To be fair, I can sleep anytime. As soon as I lay down and close my eyes, I'm usually pretty good at sleeping. Laura, on the other hand, had a hard time with that. She could not sleep when he was sleeping. There was too much thinking about, is he okay? Is he alive? Is he breathing? Like, do I need to feed him? Like, what's going on? So, of course, because she wasn't sleeping and I was worried about her, then I wasn't sleeping because of her, and being worried about her, making sure she was okay. And then it was just like a cascade of things for that first week or two. But since then, everything's been really pretty great.
He's been sleeping pretty good, though.
He's been sleeping like 7 I
Lucky.
I don't want to brag because every kid's different. We just got lucky, but like, he's been really good so far.
Our child Maggie, she started sleeping really good after she would not sleep in her bassinet. Like, that just was not happening. She never slept at night in her bassinet. But we had this Mamaroo, you know, the little thing that she slept in that up until we moved her to the crib.
Like, while it was going.
Yeah, and the cool thing, the first night, like, we woke up, like, we put her in bed at like whatever it was. She woke up for a feeding, and then we put her back in it, and then she slept until the morning. And like, it scared the crap out of us because we're like,
you wake up and go,
crap. I walked over there and she's over there just like snoring. We're like, so I remember I had a cup of coffee and it was like the best feeling in the world. Like, you know, hey, I got some sleep.
we got this
now. But
the first time you get to sleep more than like 3 or 4 hours, you feel like a completely brand new human. Because for that week prior to that, where you've only slept for 3 or 4 hour periods, you feel like you're going to die. Like, there's, oh my God. And I, you know, as a younger guy in college or like just as a younger teenager, there were many nights where I would go without sleep, like playing games or like out with my friends. This is way different because now I'm in my 30s.
Well, you always think like, it's never going to be normal again. I'll never sleep again. You know, there's always that. And
you're right. No. No, it's good to get back into sort of a routine. Once you get kind of on a routine, you're good.
Yeah. And it's insane.
Until you have another one.
Even at 4 or 5 weeks, being able to get him on some semblance of a schedule, like knowing when we're going to feed him, knowing when we're going to have him nap, it makes a world of difference.
I've always joked with Liz that I was going to write a book on babies that basically is just like, this is how we did it and it worked for us, so it should work for you too.
Which is how
every childhood,
yes.
every kid book is written.
Oh,
It's
it
like,
drives
this
me
might
insane.
work. It's like, this might work for a baby.
No, but all the books you read are like, this works every time.
Every
Guaranteed.
time, except for when it doesn't.
Except when it doesn't, and that's because you're doing it wrong.
And then it's your fault.
Yeah.
I've always said, like, if it works for you, do it. Just do it, you know. Don't, you know, we shouldn't do this because, if it works, do it.
That's like, so I've got y'all that have had kids longer, and then I've got a couple other friends that are almost in the same stage we are. Maybe they're 3 or 4 weeks ahead of us, or they're 3 or 4 weeks behind us. And it's interesting to see how everybody's kid is so different. Like, all the things that are happening. It's crazy.
Yeah. The cool thing is that, he's going to grow so quickly. And,
he already is.
Yeah, and so you'll look back at pictures from like a couple of months ago after, when he's like 2 or 3 months, you're like, Oh wow, look how little he was then, and like, Maggie just turned 18 months, which I'm so ready to quit counting months here.
Oh, you can't.
You know what I mean?
You're close.
You know what I mean? Like it's just
24.
Like,
You're done.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she's 26. No, she's 2. Anyway,
she's 318
but I
months.
digress. But we were looking back at a picture from a year ago and how just tiny she was, and how she didn't have any hair. Now she's got really long hair, and she started swimming lessons today, which
awesome.
was great. So hey.
Great or scary?
Scary for me.
Scary
for me, not scary. I mean, like I knew the teacher was going to be fine, and like the teacher's great actually. But like when you see your little girl in the pool, but she loves water, so she's had a ball. So
that's cool. Well, speaking of kids getting old, today is my youngest son's birthday. Happy birthday, Nathan!
Is he 3?
Happy birthday, Nathan.
He is 3 years old today.
3 years old.
Yeah, it's crazy.
3 years old.
And what's funny is he's actually at a birthday party for someone else today. His birthday party's next week, so he's super confused. He's like, "It's my birthday! I'm going to a birthday party." Like, no, this one's not for you.
Trying to take the other kids' presents.
Yeah.
But he's doing.
Do I get to open them?
Is a birthday party next week? Is that right?
Yeah, he's doing a birthday party next weekend. So
that's cool.
Which we're looking forward to. It should be fun. We just got back from DC.
How was that?
It was fun. It was a good
first trip.
This is their first trip to DC. Well, this is definitely Nathan's first trip to DC. Wesley probably went when he was too young to remember.
Not your and Liz's first trip?
No, not our first trip. I used to work up there and lived up there, and Liz has family up there, so we've been up there a lot. But we got to do a lot of cool things. We got to take them to like the Natural History Museum, so they saw the dinosaur bones and
cool.
all that stuff.
They just did some renovations to that museum too, or they might
they have
still doing some.
It's really nice. They've got some really cool exhibits.
Did you go to the Space and Rocket Center?
We actually did not go to the one on the mall, but we went to the one by Dulles, which is actually awesome. I loved it. I was totally geeked out. I think I've been to the other one before. I like the one by Dulles better, personally. They had a space shuttle.
Yeah, but they have
Discovery in there.
Oh, is Apollo 11 at Dulles? Then it's not as good. Apollo 11 went to the moon, okay?
They had other things that had been to the moon there.
Like what?
I don't know.
Exactly.
There's a few things I argue with Blake about, but space stuff is.
Do they have the Spirit of St. Louis there?
They did not.
Well, sorry. Maybe that'll be the headquarters of the Space Force that we're about to have. I'm just saying.
Separate but equal Space Force?
Separate but equal Space Force. When I heard that,
but they did have an SR-71 Blackbird,
which
was
those things are awesome. You know where else you can find those?
Huntsville,
Alabama.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Neil Armstrong used to fly one of those.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, a long time ago.
That was my favorite plane as a kid.
They also had a Concorde there.
Really?
The Concorde jet.
Can we get Concordes to come back? Can we get a?
I would
after it crashed.
You can't afford one anyway, dude.
No. I would never be able to afford one, but knowing that somebody's going around the world in like an hour would make me really happy.
It was like $8,000 was the ticket at the time that it stopped. Was like the last ticket prices were like $8,000 for a trip from like New York to London.
This is
by inflation. I wonder what that is.
Yeah, it's probably
like
10, 12.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't pay $8,000 for anything. I'm sure it's not gonna pay it just to get somewhere quicker.
If I flew a lot and knew that was going to be a cool experience, like that'd be one of those things that would be really
maybe one time
cool to do. Yeah, one time.
No, if I got like
a one-way
won a
trip.
raffle or something, yeah, I'd take it. But no, it's been $8,000.
We were talking about DC actually this morning, me and my wife, and she's only been the one time. I've been twice, and it's one of those things that you just can't do in a day or a weekend. Like there's so much to do.
I go once or twice every year with work, and I'm gonna tell you right now. It's a fun town. There's good restaurants there. There's awesome bars, but also like to go to these museums, it's not expensive. I mean, most of them are free because they're paid for by.
They ask for a donation.
They ask for a donation, which I do every time. But there's some great museums that you don't think of. Like I'll tell you, one of the best museums I've ever been to was the Holocaust Museum. It was really, really good. I mean, it was just. I mean.
Obviously, we didn't take the 5-year-old and the 3-year-old to the Holocaust Museum, but I've been before and Liz has been before, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
But we did some other ones that were kind of smaller. I think we went to the
Spy Museum.
We did not go to the Spy Museum. There's so much to do there.
It's a fun one to do.
It really is. I don't even remember the name of it. I think was it the Renwick? I could be saying that wrong or have that totally wrong, but it was they had a Burning Man exhibit.
Oh, that's right. I saw a picture of that. Yeah,
it was really cool. I was really kind of because I have no very.
Did you go to Ford's Theater?
Care very little about Burning Man, but it was a cool exhibit. We did actually. We parked at Ford's Theater.
Yeah.
I actually took a picture of the no guns allowed on this premises at the Ford's Theater.
Kind of
obviously not. Yeah.
Kind of goes without saying. You'd think.
If only Mr. Booth would have listened to that. But.
Have either one of y'all done the Madame Tussauds Wax Museum?
Yeah. Okay. No, I have not done it, but it's near the hotel I always stay at. So when you walk by, it's always there. and they had a Kennedy that was freaky. Like
All of them were freaky.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have thought it was anything to pay money and go do, but Laura really wanted to, and we did it, and I was really impressed. Like, it's everything in there is really creepy how like lifelike it looks.
Yeah.
I've got a picture of me sitting next to a Bill
Is that
Clinton
one just mostly
and
politicians? I guess that's what it is.
Oh, no, there's tons of stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So we did go to the National Portrait Gallery though. And
Isn't that
saw
cool? Did you see the Obama?
The Obama, the portrait, which I have to say, it's huge, and it looks way better in person. Like
It's lifelike.
It
I
is
mean,
very
is,
lifelike, and with the lighting on it and everything, it really he kind of stands out from that background. Like I thought the background was really busy when I saw pictures of it, but he just pops right out.
Now, was there a
it's
bad
really
line to get to that?
cool. It wasn't
portrait?
bad. It probably was 10 minutes.
Oh, we
5
had
minutes.
we were like standing outside the gallery trying to get into it.
Yeah, so I guess it's been there for a little while.
Yeah.
So it wasn't nearly that bad.
Did you see some of the other portraits too? They're pretty famous. There's the LBJ one when he was the majority leader.
I
and
saw that. I really liked actually Bill Clinton's.
Yeah,
I thought
what's
it was really
it's-
cool.
it's
It's kind
weird,
of funky.
yeah,
It's almost like those pictures that are made up of other pictures.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like the little mosaics or whatever. That one's really cool. I thought Kennedy's was really cool. 'Cause it's more abstract or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some. I'd never been there before. That was one of the few places I'd never, or museums or whatever that I'd never done, and I thought that was really cool. I also took my picture next to the LL Cool J portrait,
Well, of course you would. So why wouldn't you?
Appropriate.
which was awesome.
Did you go to the zoo? The Smithsonian Zoo is pretty.
We did.
It's pretty
We went
good.
to the National Zoo. It was hot.
Yeah.
But we kind of did it. We got there early. We walked through, and we walked kind of up the hill and did everything. We saw pandas. We saw cheetahs, things that we don't have at our zoo. The kids loved it.
Those pandas, people show up with like these huge cameras to like wait for those things to come out. It's ridiculous.
They were
it's like
just
it's pandas, man. You know.
They were asleep. There's like an indoor enclosure, and they were just passed out, which is pretty much what they do most of the day, I think.
Yeah.
So, but it was cool. I'm trying to remember what else we did. We went up to Baltimore for a day.
Oh.
Did the Kids Science Museum up there, or the Maryland Museum of Science, or something like that, which was neat. It's kind of like the McWane Center here. So did that. Did the Air and Space Museum, which I thought was cool. Yeah, it was fun. Fun trip.
I'm supposed to be going to New Orleans in August. That's going to be really hot. Because I have never been to New Orleans
I was about
as
to
an
say,
adult.
this is your first trip.
First trip. Well, I've been as as a kid. We drove through when I was young, and that's one thing. But I've never been as an adult.
No, you
But
definitely need to go
is
to
it
the
way
store.
different.
Is it sad that I'm most excited about the food? And
No,
the
you should
and the
absolutely be
World War
most
II
excited
That's
about
the
museum?
exciting part.
Like
is
friends
the
of mine are
food.
like, oh, you're gonna go down, Bourbon. I'm like, nah, yeah, but I want to go to the World War II
Bourbon
museum.
Street's just dirty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll see Bourbon Street. Go out there at night or whatever and just check it out. But
Go there after 10.
the food is what you're going to New Orleans.
Yes.
for.
Man, I'm
Because
ready.
almost everywhere you eat,
I
it's not
love
a chain place. It's
I
gonna
love
be
I love
delicious.
Cajun and Creole food.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now,
and
all day long.
And you gotta really work hard to find bad food in New Orleans.
You really do.
Yeah.
We did our honeymoon there, and I wish I had written down every place we ate at because there were some that I can't find now. My memory is terrible at remembering these names. There were excellent places.
it's because you've had a child and
It's been a long time.
that wears on your memory.
No, but if you need recommendations, let me know. Liz went to school down there, so she knows all the good places to go.
We're looking forward to it.
It's not hard to find good food though.
Yeah, it was kind of like one of those things that some friends of ours was like, y'all want to go to New Orleans? We're like, yeah, why not? So, we've got a plan to, I think my parents are going to keep the baby and we're going to just kind of go and be on our own for a couple of days. So,
Sounds awesome.
yeah.
Can your parents keep my babies? And
Y'all want to go too? Yeah.
How about
I'll tell
mine?
you something. They do it too.
Can I just keep all the babies?
Yeah.
The daycare at the Westbrooks of Montgomery. They could do that. Well, it's been a good show. I've enjoyed it. Welcome
I'm glad
back.
to be back.
We're glad
Welcome
to have
back.
you back.
We're flipping things on its head, so let us know how that goes.
And thank you for the
But
beer, by the way.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, so we have not talked about this
I was
yet.
gonna say we need to bring this up.
While I was off, I think maybe 3 weeks ago, Trim Tab released their new donut stout, their Hero Donut Stout, which is in collaboration with Hero Donuts. I went to their opening event, bought a 4-pack of their Hero Stout, and then bought their little tin mug they were selling with it. I think it's excellent. I'm a huge fan. I've been listening and doing the producing for these episodes the last 5 weeks, and I've heard Blake mention Trim Tab a few times, and not in the most positive light. And as a fan of Trim Tab, I thought, you know what? Let's try this out.
We need your voice to balance out the Star Wars argument of Trim Tab good versus evil.
So I brought 2 today, one for me and one for Blake and Patrick to try.
I love how we have to split one. Is that?
Well, it was for practical reasons.
Okay.
I am a big fan. I like stouts anyway. One of my first favorite beers was Guinness. I'm a huge fan of stouts. I went and tried this. It was really hot that day. I do regret that. I think this is a better winter beer.
Better winter beer, yeah, definitely.
I think it's a very great coffee stout. I don't taste the maple donut so much.
Yeah, I mean, you could have just told me this was their coffee stout, and I would have been like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
And it is good. I like it.
So you're a fan.
I'm a fan.
Blake? Honest opinion. I brought this here. They're not listening.
He's going back and forth between not liking it and liking it. I think he's back to not liking it.
I've heard him 3 times change it now. So
I prefer the muchacho from Good People.
It's fair enough. Way different beers.
It's just not my cup of tea.
If you don't like a coffee stout, you're not going to like this.
But see, I do like the oatmeal stout.
And that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
The one from Cava.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different.
No, from Good People. They do the oatmeal stout.
You're right.
The coffee of it.
Yeah. This is such a strong coffee flavor, but I am a fan of it. I really enjoy it.
We should like review a beer or something every single episode.
I don't know, there's other shows doing that, and they're probably doing a better job at it than we are.
Hey,
especially on the beer one, because I'm like,
Yeah.
Extra Special Brews, we mentioned them. If you haven't heard their latest episode, go check it out.
Just this. I don't like it.
That's all right. You don't have to like it, but me and Patrick.
No, apparently I do
3.
because I got ripped apart before we went on the air. Like, oh, you hate Trim Tab. I don't know why you hate Trim. Blake's just over here trashing Trim Tab. Y'all trash things, and no one says it to y'all. I trash one thing, and it's like, oh, Blake's terrible.
I am
can't even have an opinion on this show.
You're entitled to your opinion. It's just sometimes your opinion's wrong.
Go back over our previous 46 episodes and ask me where I've trashed anything.
Let me just say,
I'm generally a positive.
I'm just going to tell you right
soul.
now. I don't like that, and I don't like the Last Jedi. So there we go.
Have you seen Solo yet?
I haven't seen it. I've heard good
seen
things. We know you haven't seen anything new. We understand that.
You're not gonna see.
You're not gonna see anything new.
I am going on Netflix and watching reruns because I don't have to pay attention to them.
What has been now? What has been your? There's always the show that you have when you have a baby. We watch Cheers because I don't think Megan ever watched Cheers, and I love.
Ours
Cheers.
was Downton Abbey. We binge watched like the whole thing.
So when I'm by myself, I'm rewatching Parks and Rec because that's my go-to show for any time that I just want to turn something on and listen to it. But Laura and I have started rewatching Game of Thrones, and we're back up to almost the end of season 5 by now.
It's such a great show.
We had not rewatched it in a while.
A whole year to go.
Yep. Yeah. It's been a while since we had a new episode, but I'm a big Westworld fan too, so I've had that to break up
I've kind of fallen off that wagon.
We don't get to stay up at night and watch it because we put him to bed and then we're both ready to go to bed, but we're waking up like Monday morning and watching Westworld, which is a nice treat.
I just can't get into it. I watched one episode because you guys told me I had to.
But wait. But you did watch.
I did watch The Godfather.
And?
Last night. It's a good movie.
See? There
Very
you go.
good movie. I
You
watched
stayed awake through it?
by myself. I stayed mostly awake through it.
Wait a minute. You didn't let Wesley or Nathan watch it with you? It's
No.
a family movie.
I also
literally, the family.
Yeah, the family.
The family.
No.
See, now you can do Godfather quotes with us. Now you don't feel left out.
I could if I mean, but that's the thing about it is like it's so far into my life at this point that like I've literally seen all the great scenes. I've seen them, like the leave the gun, take the cannolis, like I've seen that, clips of all these scenes, the head in the bed,
The pop culturally relevant,
like all the relevant scenes. Like,
what was the name of the horse?
On the day of my daughter's wedding,
it's about to be married.
Yeah, like.
Cartoon.
I've seen all this, so I mean, it was cool to see it like in order and understand what the relevance of it was. But I thought it was a really good movie. It's still not my type of movie. It's not what I like. I prefer to watch comedies. And
I get you.
So, but I'll probably watch the second one. I'll give up that 5 hours of my life.
You
for
should
however
watch
long
the second one.
Do not watch the third one; it'll ruin your life. It's awful. It's the Last Jedi of the Godfather.
No. If the wife and kids are out of town and you have nothing better to do, you've cleaned everything, you've eaten everything you can eat, and you have nothing else to do, you're just completely bored. Watch the third one.
No.
Just because you can say you
I would
have.
say watch
and
Star
you can-
Wars.
Just so you can trash it.
You can join the ranks of those who have watched it. The second one, in my opinion, moves a whole lot faster, has better acting than the first one, and I love the second one.
You think it's better than the first?
I think it's a gem compared to the first one. The first one sets the story up. The second one is... It builds on everything.
And Robert De Niro's in it.
And Robert De Niro is like he's so good in that.
Well, I mean, I thought it was cool to see.
But what about the nothing?
Pacino so young.
And different voice and everything.
I wasn't sure it was Pacino the first time I watched it.
No, it took me a minute. I think I might have even looked it up just to confirm. And I was like,
he's a very scary guy.
But yeah, just to see his sort of rise in that as well. It's like, I mean, that so many people in that, and
Tons
Godfather
of people.
had
Yeah.
huge acting careers.
Yeah.
Um,
The guy that plays Fredo, he passed away back in like the late 70s, but every movie that he was ever in was nominated for Best Picture.
Really?
Yeah, they did like a whole. He was like married to Meryl Streep. And
I don't
when
know
he died,
anything about him other than that he was
so it's
Fredo.
like, yeah, he was good as Fredo. He's really good in part 2.
yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
So anyway,
If I have 6 hours,
maybe
Friday night-
maybe this should be a segment: movies that Patrick's have never seen to review them.
I used to have a list of movies my wife had never seen that I need to go back through.
Listen,
I stopped writing down movies that
No,
Laura
because
hadn't
now it's
seen,
like,
yeah.
God, did your parents let you watch anything?
Uh-huh.
Megan, one time we were sitting there. We had been dating for like 4 or 5 years at this point, and Office Space came on, and I love that movie.
That's a
and
great
she was
movie.
like, she goes, I've never seen this movie, and I was like,
Oh.
what? And then I
Right,
put it
it's
on
like, we're watching
Facebook,
it right
and
now.
like she was getting trashed on Facebook. I was like, baby, I'm sorry, I didn't.
I've assigned all of my like interns at work to
T-
go. They have to watch Office Space.
Do you
It's
send
part
them
of their
TPS
job
reports?
requirements. Yeah.
Maybe you didn't get the memo. I'll get you a new memo. How about that?
No, I got the memo.
I got the memo.
I made my wife watch UHF one time. Have y'all ever seen
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
that? Okay, good. I'm glad we're all.
It's
aboard
been a long
Yeah.
time. I was
Wait, we're talking
very
about Weird Al
young.
Yankovic
Yes,
here. Okay,
yes,
so
absolutely.
making sure I was
Yes.
on the same page, everybody. Yeah.
I think my grandparents owned a copy of the VHS tape. I borrowed it from them, watched it. God, so great. Weird Al is an icon. I don't know.
He's pretty much a genius. That movie is a large part of my childhood. And
See, I grew up watching Mel Brooks films.
oh
yeah, those two.
Like Spaceballs?
History
Oh
of the
my God.
World,
History of the World.
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing
Blazing Saddles is
Yeah.
really good.
Movies that we should
Young
have watched as
Frankenstein.
kids, but that.
Oh yeah, like
I'm pretty sure everyone stopped listening to us at this point.
Yeah.
We're just rambling on. Thanks everybody for listening.
yeah. Okay, let's stop. You want to stop?
Yeah.
Let's stop.
we'll come back next week.
We'll come back next week. We'll talk more about Mel
Talk
Brooks
more
movies.
about movies. Mel Brooks movies.
Well, thank y'all for listening to the latest edition of Red Mountain Express. We are glad to have Matthew back. You gonna be back next week too?
I will be here next week, God willing.
Good, and listeners better be as well. So with that, I'm Blake Westbrook. We will see you next week.